reason I wanted to get you through to that point was this arrived here on the stage tonight from Craig down the back there, who lives up the road about 100 yards. When the Rest Hotel was demolished in 1989, I've never done anything that didn't seem to have some bearing on a bigger story. Alan Bond share-rated Chewies. He sold 6 of the best properties to himself from Tui's shareholders. You know, basically he sold them for next to nothing to himself. If you were a Tui shareholder, you would have been screaming. And then he decided, he walked into 6 of the biggest earners, the Oaks, and among them, the Harbourview and the Rest Hotel, and walked up to the owners and said that he was taking over. Now, they were leasehold properties. They were owned by Tui's, but these people had built up the businesses, you know. So they said, all right, well, we bought the business from Tui's for $300,000 or whatever it is. We'll sell it back to you. We built it up now. We'll sell it back to you for just, say, $800,000. Right? He said, no, you don't understand. I found a loophole in the contract. You're being evicted and thrown out in the street with nothing. 3 publicans committed suicide. One in the Northern Beaches up here, one over there in Dubbo, and basically, and this was at a time when Bondi was a national hero because it was involved in what he'd done with the Australia Cup. So that was going to be the end of it, but I was talking to Patsy about community activism earlier on. A whole bunch of people on the North Shore got into fired up mode, and a whole bunch of people took up collections at the Rest Hotel and the Oaks and a whole stack of things, and went to war with him and beat him in the High Court. The case was taken on by Tommy, the QC pro bono, and they beat him on a thing called the estoppel. Basically, the Tui's had been trading in goodwill for so long that even though the loophole, which was intended to be able to evict alcoholic publicans who were damaging Tui's property, even though the loophole existed, an estoppel, if you don't fence your land off and you allow the community to walk through it for 100 years, you can't fence it off. You'd entered into a de facto contract with the community saying that you can't do that. So Bondi was beaten in the High Court and then desperately needed money because he'd negative geared everything, and the best thing he thought he could do was to sell off a couple of these properties that he'd sold himself, and the Rest Hotel was sold out. The night before it was demolished, we did a double album set there, and I didn't know it, but before the bulldozers arrived, the fans took the place apart. And about 8 weeks later, I was doing a gig and I looked into the crowd, and this huge object came through the crowd, and when it turned sideways, it was the front window of the pub that I had played in front of for 11 and a half years, with a beautiful cedar frame turned into a mirror, and hangs on my wall in Medlow Bath in the Blue Mountains even all these years later. But it was the end of an era. Thanks for bringing this along, mate. We've got to get my mirror together with your story. The really funny part is that Craig told me that he got this at a fundraiser we did for, I think, for the Sydney Mission, and we asked people to bring along any of their memorabilia that they could auction, you know, for money for the charity night. The whole bar turned up, cut into 20 pieces. And the wives weren't pleased because they got rid of the junk out of their garage, but the blokes came home with different junk, and they were poorer for it, you know. In 1823, the supply boat sailed out of Circular Quay, while the harbour bridge and City Link were just a twinkle in the eye of old JT. The brightly coloured horse-drawn drays were the arteries of the North Shore trade. They dragged their wares to the market stairs from the bottom of the promenade, and the grade was steeper than I guess, for the horse and driver gave it best. They built a water trough where the horses stopped, and a pub that they called the Rest. The rest is history. Please remember me when you look back across those years at how it used to be. It's no news to me. Life brings changes like a melody, but nothing ever stays the same except the memories. Keep them safe for me. The rest is history. Now the bridge forever changed the face of Milson's Point, and the harbour trade in that wooden pub, so long its hub, burnt down in 1938. A new pub built in 40 style brought Air Force men with furlough smiles, and on Saturday nights they started fights and blood ran on the tiles, but the rest is history. Please remember me when you look back across the years at how it used to be. It's no news to me, life brings change. It's a memory when nothing ever stays the same except the memories. You keep them safe from me, it's all just a history. Now in 77 the music came, the clientele that changed again. You and I, an American Pie, were strapped upon the wheels of change. Road crew lights, PA gear. The party lasted 10 long years, and the bar was packed from front to back. And I still can hear those cheers. But the rest is history. Please remember me. You can never go back to how it used to be. It's no news to me, life brings changes. It's just a melody when nothing ever stays the same except the memories. Keep them safe from me, so much history. I had the RAF and the horse-drawn carts. I feel that I had left my mark on that road that leads to Miller Street. From the laughing face of Luna Park, when they closed those doors for the final time, when the demolition crews arrived, new memories would supersede those memories of mine. But raise your glass before we go far away long ago to the ferryman, the Air Force throne, the painted drays and the years of song, and to the publicans in a world gone wrong, and to the last of those one-man shows. The rest is history. Please remember me. Oh, you can never go back to how it used to be. It's no news to me, life brings change. It's just a melody where nothing's meant to stay the same except the memories. If you keep them safe for me, so much history, so much history. When we're gone far away and over now.